सीधे ग्राउंड जीरो पर थी और वहां हमने बशर अल असद के दिमाग और उनकी सोच का डीएनए टेस्ट किया और इस विश्लेषण में कई चौंका देने वाली बातें सामने आई। किसी भी भारतीय न्यूज चैनल को दिए अपने पहले इंटरव्यू में बशर अल असद ने कई विस्फोटक बातें कही हैं, जो आज आपको सीरिया के हालात की पूरी एबीसीडी समझा देंगी।
If you want to be objective, we always say that if you don't have your own, let's say, defects in your society, in your country, the external factor would be minimal. So we always talk about our mistakes or our loopholes or defects. But at the end, we didn't bring the terrorists, we didn't support the terrorists, we didn't support this ideology. Mainly who started this conflict was Qatar, under the supervision and the endorsement of the Western countries, mainly France and UK at the very beginning. But when you talk about France and UK, they wouldn't do something without the permission of the United States. We all know that the real mentor is the United States. The problem in the United States is about the whole political system. It's not about one person. Trump's election has proven again for us, again and again, that the president is only a performer. He's not the decision maker. He's part of different lobbies and the deep state, or the deep regime as we can call it, who implement and dictate on the president what should he be doing. And the proof to what I'm saying, that Trump, after he became president, he swallowed most of the promises and the word that he was boosting during his campaign. He made 180 turn in nearly every promise.
इंटरव्यू के दौरान हमने बशर अल असद से सीरिया के आम नागरिकों पर कथित तौर पर केमिकल अटैक को लेकर वो सवाल भी पूछा जिसका जवाब पूरी दुनिया जानना चाहती है, लेकिन जवाब सुनकर हम भी कुछ देर के लिए सोच में पड़ गए।
You know, every politician can say no, we don't do it, morally or for any other reason, and the viewers can say no, he's not honest. I wouldn't talk about this in that traditional way. I would say let's ask the question: would it be logical to be used? If we have it, we don't have chemical weapons, but if we have it, if you want to use it, why would you use it in that case? 1 week before that alleged incident, the terrorists were advancing. We didn't use it. So why to use it where the army was advancing and the terrorists were retreating? This is for second. It was used, as they said, we don't know if it's true or not, against civilians in all of the cities. So if the Syrian army wanted to use those kind of weapons, why don't he use it against the terrorists who's been in the field, not against the civilians? So all this story doesn't have, let's say, legs to stand on. It's not realistic, it's not logical. So who's behind it? It was simply the United States and the Western intelligence with the terrorists. They staged this play just to have pretext to attack Syria.
अब सवाल ये उठता है कि अगर आईएसआईएस को अमेरिका और दूसरे देशों का समर्थन हासिल है, तो फिर सीरिया से आतंक का राज कब खत्म होगा?
If you want to talk about our war, regardless of the influence of the external wars, ISIS is not very strong. It will take few months, even with al-Nusra. Now the problem that ISIS has been supported by the United States. The United States attacked our army that's been fighting ISIS 3 times during the last 6 months or so. And every time they attack our forces in that area, ISIS attacked our forces at the same time and took over that area. So the realistic answer is that depends on how much international support ISIS will get.
वैसे दुनिया में गुड टेररिज्म और बैड टेररिज्म पर चर्चा होती है, लेकिन कोई जड़ से आतंकवाद को खत्म करने की बात नहीं करता। भारत भी सीरिया की ही तरह आतंकवाद से पीड़ित देश है, लेकिन दुनिया अपने एजेंडे पर चलती है। इसीलिए मौजूदा हालात को देखते हुए भारत और सीरिया न सिर्फ एक दूसरे से काफी कुछ सीख सकते हैं, बल्कि आतंकवाद के खिलाफ एक पार्टनर भी बन सकते हैं।
We respect a lot the Indian position because, first of all, it's based on the international law. In spite of all the pressure, all the Western pressure on every country, including India, to join the embargo against the Syrian people, India wouldn't cease its relation with Syria, and some of the investments still going on in Syria with Indian participation in different sectors because of that independent position. I think our independence came at the same time, in the 40s, in that era. And the geography could be different.
Right.
The reason why we have been facing terrorism could be different, but at the end, terrorism is one. And the ideology that we've been facing is the same one. And the most important thing that the terrorism has been used in India for political reasons, for political agenda. The Syria the same, to support a terrorist organization for political agenda. This is something very dangerous. It's beyond only India and beyond Syria. It tells you that terrorism has no borders. So we have what we have to do, not only to learn from our experience. Our experience, if you talk about Syria and India, could be very similar. We can learn a lot from each other.
गृह युद्ध की वजह से सीरिया पूरी तरह से बर्बाद हो गया है। बिना खरोच वाली कोई इमारत बहुत मुश्किल से खोजने पर भी नहीं मिल पाती। सीरिया की शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, ऊर्जा, कृषि, यातायात और हाउसिंग जैसे सेक्टर्स पूरी तरह बर्बाद हो गए हैं। ऐसे में सीरिया भारत की तरफ उम्मीद भरी नजरों से देख रहा है।
Definitely. First of all, if I want to talk about the political part, the most important factor for any player to play any role in such a complicated conflict is to have credibility. And India, through the history, has always been credible. Through the different parties that took power in India, we never noted that there's any fluctuation in their policy because it's based on morals and ethics, as I said. So India, as the main country on the political arena today, has to do its utmost in order to protect the international law at the Charter of the United Nations. Through its relation, India has relation with every country in this world. So with their effort, the effort of their official and the government, they can help in that regard. If you want to talk about the reconstruction, as you know, when you have war in any country that destroy much of the infrastructure, the most profitable sector would be the rebuilding. And India is welcome to play economic role in the reconstruction.
अमेरिका सहित तमाम पश्चिमी देश भले ही बशर अल असद को एक विलन के तौर पर देखते हो, लेकिन सीरिया के आम नागरिक उन्हें अपना हीरो मानते हैं, क्योंकि अगर ऐसा नहीं होता तो 17 सालों से एक व्यक्ति सत्ता के शिखर पर ना बैठा होता।
I don't have secret. It's a Syrian secret. It's the public support. If you have public support, you can withstand any storm. That's a very simple fact. If you don't, you would have stood for a few weeks or few months, not few years. You cannot.
जाते जाते बशर अल असद ने न सिर्फ सीरिया से आतंक के सर्वनाश की बात कही, बल्कि भारत के लिए एक संदेश भी छोड़ा है कि कैसे भारत विश्व गुरु बनकर दुनिया को एक नई दिशा दिखा सकता है।
And you're coming at a time where the situation has improved dramatically, let's say, because the terrorist groups, mainly ISIS and Al-Nusra and like-minded groups in Syria, who are Wahhabi terrorist extremist groups, are retreating, or let's say the area under their control has been shrinking. So the situation on the ground from military point of view is much better than before, but it's not the whole picture. It's not only about military conflict, it's about different things, about the ideology that they try to spread. I think during the last few decades, mainly after Bush came to power in the United States, the West tried to promote its society, its political system, its behavior as the minaret that the world should follow, socially and politically and every other aspect. I think India, the Indian people, are the one that could be that minaret because of the diversity that you have, because of this civilization that's deeply rooted in the history, and because the moral that you base your society and your politics on, because the real democracy that India showed to the world. Because of many things, I think India is the one who are ready to lead that direction if they want to set example for any other country to follow. This is my most important message, because we know what the meaning of diversity, because we are a diverse country, but on a smaller scale.
भारतीय टेलीविजन पर सीरिया के राष्ट्रपति बशर अल असद का ये पहला इंटरव्यू है और इस इंटरव्यू ने न सिर्फ भारत बल्कि पूरी दुनिया की आंखें आज खोल दी हैं।